What's going on, guys? Today I have 7 different ways to find USA manufacturers for your Amazon business and for your Amazon products. And I'm also going to go through all the pros and cons of using a USA manufacturer versus a Chinese manufacturer. That way you can decide, which business decision is best for your product. Real quick before we get started, I just want to welcome in anybody new to this channel. My name is Cameron James and I've been selling on Amazon for over 3 years now. So if you guys want to follow along, learn everything new that I learned in the Amazon field, learn about my journey of becoming a 7-figure seller, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. You won't regret a thing. Otherwise, guys, let's just get right into it. So before I dive into that list of 7 different ways to find USA manufacturers, I first want to go back to that pros and cons list I was talking about a little bit earlier. So why would we find a USA manufacturer versus, a Chinese manufacturer or a Vietnamese manufacturer, just an overseas manufacturer in general? Well, the list is pretty long here in the USA right now, whether it's, the pandemic or it's about tariff fees and Trump creating a bunch of tariff fees for a bunch of different categories of products, or if it's the increased cost of shipping right now for air freight. So the list is quite long here, which is I'm actually kind of shocked about when I was writing this out and kind of thinking about it for my own business a little bit. So let's just get into them so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So the first one is saving shipping time, right? So if you have, a Chinese manufacturer and you want to get goods sent over to the USA, whether you're putting them in Amazon or selling them on Shopify or whatever it may be, well, this could take up to, 25 to 35 days for sea shipping if you decide to put them on a boat, or 14 to 17 days for air freight, maybe hopefully a little sooner than that, maybe 10 to 14 days. DHL, 4 to 5 days express shipping, but very, very expensive. Which leads me right into my next pro, which is you're going to save a lot of money on shipping. If you're not sending them over, literally halfway across the world, you're going to save a little, coinage for not shipping them over to the USA, whether it's sea or air or whatever it may be. Obviously, when you source from the USA, you're probably going to have an Amazon warehouse pretty close to wherever that's being manufactured, and the shipping cost is going to be very, very minimal compared to shipping it across the world. Staying in the shipping realm here, the next pro is we're going to save a bunch of money on tariffs, right? We're not, going through customs. We're not paying those duty fees, which, if you manufacture from China, which most people do, which some product categories are up to 25% since Trump has got into office, which is unfortunate for a lot of businesses because that's just make or break for a lot of, especially Amazon businesses. On to the next one, guys. These are all, again, from my experience using USA manufacturers for my Amazon business. I've worked with 2 here in the USA. Most of them are in China, but there are some circumstances where you want USA manufacturers. So the next one here is better communication. If you've worked with Alibaba, if you try to talk to Chinese manufacturers and you speak English, you know how hard it is to get your point across sometimes when talking to manufacturers overseas. And yes, I think that's part of the process of getting the pros of working with overseas manufacturers, but it can be so frustrating sometimes when you have an issue or you want something very, very specific and you can't get your point across and you have to ask 3 or 4 times. Again, no one's fault there, just culture differences, language differences, and it's just something we have to deal with in the whole world with getting along with each other. So obviously with USA manufacturers, they're going to speak English, they're going to understand what you're saying, things are just going to move along a little smoothly there when you're trying to get points across, which is fabulous. The next one, guys, is IP protection. So you get a cool design made, say you improve a product, which is a very, very popular strategy on Amazon. Well, if you use a Chinese manufacturer, there's a good chance they might not honor that your design is not for everyone, right? So you could even write a contract out, but they could sell your design to someone else. It's just kind of part of, I'm not saying that every Chinese manufacturer does that or they're all scummy, but I'm just saying there's probably a bigger chance overseas that this happens with your product design than here in the USA. So here in the USA, when you work with a manufacturer, this is probably not going to happen so much versus a Chinese Alibaba supplier. And obviously, if you're using a USA manufacturer, your brand name is going to be a lot more protected. Your logo, they're not going to put that in any other packaging. Again, I'm not saying this will happen in China, but I know there's a higher risk of this happening in China than here in the USA. Another cool thing I learned about kind of the hard way, not a great situation on our side, but something we learned is that if you use a Chinese manufacturer, technically, if you bring it here to the States, you are the manufacturer of this good. So that means you are liable for any product issues, for your product if something goes wrong. Well, here in the USA, if you get a product made, the manufacturer is just as liable as you are. So the liability doesn't just fall on you using a USA manufacturer. You guys split liability just because they're just as liable for making the product as you are for selling it. Again, that's just something I kind of learned on the fly, kind of the hard way, unfortunately, just with some bad experiences with a couple manufacturers early in my Amazon journey. But again, check with a lawyer with this, but that's just something I learned, and I'm pretty sure is a fact for most manufacturers here in the USA. I don't know if there's any gray areas with that or certain lines that can be crossed or not, or if it applies to all manufacturers, but for my manufacturers in the USA, that is how it works. Next one, guys, is being able to put that little made in the USA logo or wording on your product. It's a huge selling point here in the USA just because there's some bad stigma around the quality of products from China or made in Mexico or made in Vietnam or anything like that. When I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think that falls on actually some of the best manufacturers in the world are in China. Think of Apple, think of all these big companies. They definitely manufacture in China, and they make the products here for USA citizens. So the quality is there. There's just a lot more options in China, so there's a lot more chance you're going to get kind of a bad quality, and that kind of relies on you too. So figuring out who has great quality and who doesn't. So it goes back and forth a little bit there, but there's a huge advertising and selling point for made in the USA products. Products like supplements, products you put on your face, lotion, skincare, toothpaste, whatever it may be that you put in your body, or just there's a lot more risk for it. Those products are gonna be a lot easier to sell, a lot easier for your customers to get on board with if they're made in the USA. Again, that's even something I kind of look for is, I'm popping supplements or, I'm putting stuff on my face. I don't want that, usually made in China, just because there is a chance that some Amazon FBA seller out there who doesn't really know what they're doing or has kind of some bad intentions is selling, snake oil or whatever it may be for that product made in China. So keep that in mind if you have a product that people are ingesting or putting on their skin. Being made in the USA is a huge, huge pro to that and something I'd recommend. And then on that point, it's a lot easier to get certifications. Say you're selling on Amazon, they'll require a ton of sheets and certifications depending on the product to get approved to sell that product. Well, USA manufacturers are going to have all that documentation that's legit and easy just to send over to Amazon, and them accepting it is going to be a lot smoother process than maybe getting some phony sheets from China or any other documentation that just isn't what mainstream kind of certifications that are made here in the USA. So those are all the pros, guys. Let's get into the cons so we can get into the 7 ways as quick as possible. So the cons, higher cost. So if you use a USA manufacturer, the costs are going to be significantly higher than using a Chinese manufacturer, unfortunately. But hopefully you're getting better quality. Hopefully you're getting the made in the USA, so you'll be able to sell for a lot higher price than something made in China. So that's something to keep in mind. If it's a simpler product, it's maybe a spatula or something like that, maybe made in China is the best route to go, just because just simple products are easy to mass produce in China for lower prices. Here in the USA, maybe if it's a more complex, high-priced item that you're going to charge more for anyways, maybe this is the best route for you. But the pricing in the USA is going to be much, much, much higher than any Chinese manufacturer for that same product. So the next con is something we had the biggest issue with when working with the USA manufacturer, just because the way we run Amazon brands and new Amazon products is we like to run lean, start out, prove the product, then keep pushing forward here. So the biggest con for USA manufacturers is MOQs. So MOQs are a lot bigger here in the USA. They're used to working with bigger companies, bigger businesses here in the USA. They don't like the small fishes in most circumstances. Just give you an example here, not to scare you away, but the first manufacturer we worked with here in the USA, it was a $40,000 order. So that was a very big MOQ. I believe it was 2,000 units. And that was really, really tough. But to give you some good news and let you know there is some flexibility here in the USA. It's not all huge MOQs, just not as much flexibility as China. The second manufacturer we worked with here in the USA was an MOQ of 500 units, and that order was very, very small compared to the first manufacturer. So there's some flexibility out there. You just see more big manufacturers. They're just wanting to work with big customers, not small fish who are just getting started. But you just got to look around and everything like that. Again, I'll show you ways to find those USA manufacturers here in a second. The third con here is less customization. So The cool thing about in China, if you get a product made, you can get your product packaging made there. You can design it yourself, whether it's a certain material or maybe it's just paper or plastic. You can, create your own boxes very, very easily. You can just get a .ai file from someone on Upwork and send it on over, and they'll take care of it in-house. Same thing with the product. Since it's the lines right there, they can add something to it. They can, decrease size, increase size, make it stronger here, and do all these kind of cool things for you by just, chatting with them and telling them what you want. In the USA, that doesn't work quite like that. There's not as much customization going on. It's just kind of pushing things out the line. Once you've kind of finalized your design, for your manufacturer, it's pushing forward, just, pushing the line forward. That way they're being as efficient and as automated as possible. In China, it's a little more hands-on, so the customization is a little easier to adapt to. Leading to the next con is that when you have a USA manufacturer, there are so many more steps you have to take than a Chinese manufacturer. So what I mean by this is, just using our example here, we had to go to a different business to find or get our labels made. We had to go to a different business to get our containers made. We had to go to a different business to get our flavoring made. And this was all sent to the manufacturer, and then they filled it with everything there. So there was so many more steps in logistics, and it took like 3 or 4 other different just kind of businesses to put it all together. And I think that's a common theme here in the USA. Lots of co-packers, lots of design shops that are going to print your labels. Maybe they do half fills somewhere, then they send it somewhere else to get the rest of the fill in there. So there's just so many more logistics to it. Where in China, they're going to do this all in one place, and it's so convenient, so nice. You give them the labels, you give them the container you want, and they'll go find it, they'll go get it, they'll put it in their manufacturing shop or their just shop in general and get that made for you. So just know that if you're going to get a USA manufacturer, that's to be expected, and don't be afraid of that just because that's just how it is. All right, guys, probably the moment you guys have all been waiting for. I know the pros and cons list was a little long-winded, but I just want to give you all the info necessary to make the best decision for your business. This has been helpful so far. Before I get into the 7 ways to find a USA manufacturer, just poke that little like button for me and make sure you guys subscribe down below. That really helped me get this video out to more people. Just trying to reach more people and help more people just kind of figure out their Amazon business and get started. But anyways, guys, let's just get right into it. So the first way to find a USA manufacturer may be a little generic in your eyes, but I think it's the most important way and the best way almost to find a USA manufacturer, and that is good old Google. So let's hop on my screen. I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. All right, guys, so let me show you exactly how I search on Google to find these manufacturers. And so the first thing I like to put is this little section here, made in the USA. And obviously you can do this for any country that you want. Second is your product here, lemon squeezer. And then third here is your manufacturers right here. So we can interchange this product. Maybe there's different names for your product, lemon juicer, lemon squeezer, whatever it may be. Again, this is just a generic example. Lemon squeezer, obviously, this is a very popular product that people sell on Amazon. So we're going to get some weird results here, but we should be able to find what we're looking for if we're really, really adamant of finding a lemon squeezer manufacturer here in the USA. This third one right here, this one's very interchangeable. So manufacturers, this could be white label, this could be private label, this could be suppliers, this could be all sorts of things. That we could change up, just keep searching. The thing with Google is you just got to keep kind of messing around, right? We just got to keep messing with our keywords, keep kind of, searching around and everything like that until we find what we're looking for, because they are out there. So it just, it takes a little digging and everything like that. But if we go to, just lemon squeezer manufacturer here, we see the first one right here, citrus squeezer right here. So this is a whole manufacturing company, hopefully in the USA, because then that means we were doing this correctly. Let's see, Connecticut right here. So this is a USA manufacturer, but that's a little citrus squeezer right there. Maybe not the one you're looking for specifically, but I'm sure they have all sorts of products. Just because it's a popular product, you're just going to get a lot of weird Amazon or Alibaba ones right here. Again, maybe could just come up with a better example, but this is just one. I teach you here that it takes a little digging, right? Kitchenconservatory.com, made in the USA right here. Excellent cookware stuffs. 14 best lemon squeezers reviews. No, thank you. Zule Kitchen, based in the USA. So maybe, I don't know if this is a manufacturer or not. Global sources. This is one actually I'm not covering this, so it's kind of good, but this is a USA, kind of a smaller Alibaba, but for USA you can use and everything like that. So, this is how you guys find that. So maybe we type in a different one right here. Let's go, let's see, bandsaw. This is very random, but maybe it's just a complex product you're looking to source in the USA because you just don't trust Chinese suppliers to get this done right. USA made products right here, bandsaws list, well-saw metal cutting bandsaws made in the USA, wood cutting bandsaw machinery manufacturers. So you can see here, if we're not just doing a generic product like a lemon squeezer or garlic presser or anything like that, we get better results. Bandsaws right here made in the USA. So actually lots of results here for something like that. Again, if you're sourcing USA, it may be more complex of a product. So this is probably a better example for you. So don't underestimate the simple tools, right? And that's Google. Don't underestimate this. This is probably going to be your best source of information and give you the most diverse information to find the product you're looking for and find the manufacturer you're looking for. On number 2, guys, this is called Makers Row. So Makers Row is just a site. Unfortunately, this one is paid that you have to use to search on factories, browse catalogs, and everything like that. So if you have a little excess money or you just want to have somewhere where you can search and kind of have a paid resource that no one else is using just because it is paid, and kind of have exclusive not rights but exclusive search rights almost for manufacturers that might not be listed anywhere else. Well, this is it right here. It's not too expensive, $35 right here just to get started. And you can do factory searches right here to find the product you're looking for and find the manufacturer who makes it for you. If you really wanted to use this tool, they actually can help you, get personalized help. So maybe they help you design the product a little better, or maybe they find you, just start to finish, right? What do you need to get this product off the ground to the manufacturer itself? So they go a little further. Again, it is paid, so that's kind of like, but if you wanted to really design a product and get some help if needed, this is an option for you. Number 3, guys, is ThomasNet. I know you probably already heard this one before, but it's just something I want to get out there for anybody kind of new in this journey. But ThomasNet is just kind of an Alibaba, a crappier version of Alibaba, to be honest, for USA manufacturers. So we type in light bulbs here just to show you how it works. If I could type, I cannot, but hopefully they figured it out for me. So we go to light bulbs here. We can hit this right here, and then a bunch of suppliers pop up, from, Illinois, from, let's see here, I didn't say right there, New Jersey. They must have more than one location, what that means right there. Ohio. So you get exactly what I'm saying there. So if you have a product, go ahead and look it up on ThomasNet. Maybe you can find a manufacturer that way. I won't get too into detail about this just because I made quite a few videos on ThomasNet already, and I'm sure you've already heard of it. And it's probably not my favorite option, to be honest with you, but it's just something I want to cover just because you can find certain products in ThomasNet. The 4th way to find a USA manufacturer, guys, is one of actually my favorite ways to do this because I'm a very hands-on person. Unfortunately, just due to the circumstances we're in right now, this one's a little tougher right now, but I'm sure that things are going to get better, and this one will just come back probably even stronger than ever, and that is finding trade shows. So there's trade shows for everything. There's dentistry trade shows. There's electronic trade shows. I'm sure there's kitchen goods trade shows. You can literally Google all these and literally just put, right here, I put electronic manufacturing trade shows, and I got an endless list right here. I got right here, the best trade shows for electronic manufacturing. Just a big old list right here. So I can go to all these if I wanted to, talk to manufacturers, really get to know what they are offering, get to know the process, especially if you wanted to source from a bigger country like the USA. And you could type in anything right here. So kitchen supplies, let's just type that in, see what we get. Supplies, trade shows right here. We go down, Dine, Decor, Expo right there. Again, this one's tougher because of everything going on right now, but I'm sure that's open in some states. Here in the USA, just probably mask only and everything like that. And they're only going to get more popular and get going again. So that's just one because I'm very hands-on. We did some of these in Chicago. Super fun. I love talking to people. So this is one that I really enjoy and really like just because, maybe it's not always the smartest idea and it can be a little expensive, but I like moving around, and I got a little ADHD, so I'm just binging around. So it kind of works out a little better for me. But anyways, guys, let's go on to number 5, which is buying competitors' products. So this doesn't work all the time, guys, but, say you have, a certain supplement you love. These people are, killing it, their quality's great, you want to source something just as good as that, and that's your only focus, well, in most circumstances, you could buy the supplement, and you can look on the little back there, and you can see where it's manufactured. So you're going to get the name of the manufacturer for your favorite products. Again, not in all circumstances, but most made in the USA products have this information on them. So obviously you can reach out to this manufacturer. In some cases, the manufacturer is going to be the company himself, and obviously they're not going to produce competitors' products, but you get my drift here of what the potential could be. You could literally find the manufacturer that's producing the great goods that you're trying to compete with or be like, right, or imitate with. There's obviously tons of room in the market for everybody. It's just a different marketing angle or a different spin on something maybe. You get my drift there. You guys are smart. But you know, that's one that people kind of overlook and one we have used in the past before. Number 6, guys, is Wholesale Central. So another site here, we can literally search our product right here. So maybe I type in lemon squeezer. Again, I don't know why I keep typing this in. It's always, you know, not a great kind of example here, but yeah, lemon squeezer right here from Cole Imports. So this is a great way to find products as well. They have lists of trade shows right here. Maybe you're starting out a little wholesale, trying to figure things out, but you can actually browse right here. You know, Albuquerque, New Mexico, pet products. And so you guys get the idea there. You just type in your product and you can find manufacturers for, you know, products this way as well. So I won't go too deep into Wholesale Central there just because it's kind of self-explanatory. And if you used Alibaba before, it's very similar to that. The next one, guys, number 7, just a shout out to Good Life Warrior, another YouTuber, but just kind of a sourcing wizard. And helps people with sourcing. I got this idea from her, so I just figured I'd give her a shout out and give credit where it's due. And that is an idea called Reference USA. So if you actually go to your public library here in the USA, they have a database for all businesses and manufacturers for products. So you can search this at the library. Again, I know it's not the perfect time to go to the library. I'm not sure if they're open everywhere, but this is something that I'm going to use when I get the chance. And you can go search in this database just because it's paid. I believe it's a public tool that you know, the library is paying for. And with this, you can obviously just search it like any other search engine, search your product, and find a bunch of manufacturers here in the USA just for that product. So that's the final one. That one's really good. I like that. Again, all 7 of these, you could use a combination of all 7 here. You know, don't just credit the Google, obviously, just because it's simple. For some reason, people like to make things harder on themselves when it shouldn't have to be. Me, it's all about the easiest way possible and keeping my life simple. So Google is a great place for that. Again, this Reference USA one, I'm very excited about that. Again, if you need to buy your competitor's product, take a look at that. See if you can find a manufacturer there. And this whole list is good, guys. It's all gold and it's all there if we just put the work in and take a little time to dig around, and you will find that USA manufacturer if you actually are looking for it and putting in the effort. All right, guys, enough preaching there. A little long-winded, but I hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, make sure to hit that like button like I said before. If you got any questions at all, guys, any other ways you guys are finding USA manufacturers, I'd love to hear ideas. I'd love to learn. Or if you have questions, if you think your situation's a little more specific than most people, pop a comment down below and let me know, and I can try to help. I try to answer every single comment here on YouTube itself. But that is it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And of course, guys, make sure you guys check out my other YouTube videos on sourcing and finding suppliers there. They're all gold, something I put a lot of time and effort into. But otherwise, guys, see you in the next one.